Hello, Brigadiers and Brigadettes and hockey fans alike. This is your captain speaking. Welcome to my channel. Now let's jump into some hockey content. Hello, everybody. Yes, we're shooting in a different area, like I said in the last video. I'm going to have to stay different places for like 2 weeks because the university isn't allowing us to stay there without paying an extra $20, even though the housing bill is the same price. That's whatever, but got a friend here today, so if I can get him, he's kind of old and grouchy. Ugh, come on. So, there we go. This is Dash. I raised him when he was a puppy. He's about 11 now, but here he is. Anyway, let's get on into the topic at hand today. We have the Carolina Hurricanes and the 3 questions for them. So the first question is, can Andrei Svechnikov start off where he left off after his injury? To be completely honest, that leg injury he had, I do not see how that was a ankle sprain, high ankle sprain. They said it was. Carolina fans, you have to be counting your blessings, thinking that this is just a lucky deal, because when I saw the injury, I thought that it was a major injury, and then a little bit while after that, they broke the news that it was just a high ankle sprain, but I still can't believe it. Also, if you hear a weird noise, it's probably him licking his lips, so I apologize for that for the audio. Svechnikov was injured in Game 3 of the first round versus the Boston Bruins, and, like I said, to many it looks like a major injury. He was selected with the 2nd overall pick in the 2018 draft, and to me is a pillar of the Carolina Hurricanes team and their future, and any chance that they have in contending for the Stanley Cup. He's grown a lot over the past 2 years, and I think a 30-goal, 45-assist season could absolutely be attainable, and I think he's going to have a season that you're going to remember, and I think that you need to remember that I told you this now. It's going to be a season to remember for Andrei Svechnikov. It also helps that he is an RFA at the end of this upcoming year, so he's going to want to have an amazing season so he can get a big payday. He's grown a lot in the past 2 years, so I know this third year could be huge. His first year, he had 20 goals, 17 assists, 37 points in 82 games, played all 82 games, 0.45 points per game. And then in year 2, he had 24 goals, 37 assists, 61 points in 68 games played for 0.9 points per game. He literally doubled his points per game. Very impressive. I was very impressed with Svechnikov. Don't laugh at me. And so, yes, I think he's going to be a big piece of whether or not the Hurricanes contend or not. The second question is, can Peter Mrazek become the star goalie that Carolina needs to be a true favorite, or really just a goalie number 1, not a 1A, 1B type deal? Essentially, since 2014, I've been hyping up Mrazek, and to be honest, I do think he's one of the more underrated goalies in the league, and, I remember middle school, high school, I would always say Mrazek's underrated. My friends and then people that liked hockey in my school would always say that I was crazy, but I'm not crazy. Mrazek's underrated. And yeah, he hasn't really been a true starter, since the 2015-16 season, but the potential is there. His career stats are 122, 94, and 28 record, a 2.62 goals against average, a 910 save percentage with 21 shutouts. And then his Carolina stats, he's been with Carolina for 2 years, 44, 30, and 5 record, 2.54 goals against average, a 909 save percentage, and 7 shutouts. I know that, he's definitely benefited from Carolina having a team that's loaded defensively with, Hamilton, Slavin, I know it's pronounced 2 different ways. I call him Slavin, but I could be wrong. And I know that he fits in well with this team, though, even though that they're loaded. He's young-ish. He is somebody that has started, but he hasn't really had, a lot of wear on the tires. So I think that it'd be really huge for him. He's only 28. I think realistically, if he has a good season with the team, they should sign him to a 3-year extension. That way they keep their contention open for 3 years. They can really lock him down. I don't think he'd ask for a crazy price too. If you could keep Reimer or somebody else as a backup, that'd be great. But I do think that he is somebody that could be the goalie of the future for the Hurricanes. He's already been there for 2 years. I just think that if he has a good year, you might as well lock him up. Keep this team together, because this is the first time I believe in franchise history they've made the playoffs in back-to-back years. I know that Mrazek is still a mystery for not only Carolina but the rest of the league, but I do think that this upcoming year will be a huge deciding factor in determining not only Mrazek's future, but Carolina's future as well. If they lose Mrazek or anything happens injury-wise to him, I think it could really hurt their chances of being in contention. So I know it's not all Mrazek doing this when they've made it to the playoffs back-to-back years, but I do really believe that he has played a major factor in them being able to make the playoffs back-to-back years. Without Mrazek, I don't believe they make the playoffs in either of those seasons. So he's a crucial part in helping Carolina get there. And he's, I think, possibly sleeping. So if you hear snoring, that's what that is. And then the third question is, will Dougie Hamilton go on a tear like he did last year? Dougie Hamilton is coming off of his best offensive season, which came last year, and he needs to have another season like this for two reasons. The first reason is that he's a unrestricted free agent, a UFA, at the end of this season, and if you know that if you're going to put up numbers like that, you're going to get a really big contract, and for better or for worse, it works out for better for Dougie Hamilton. And then the second reason is Carolina really needs him on both ends of the ice in order to be a contender. I know I say a lot of these teams are dark horses, but Carolina really is a dark horse to me right now. But if they get a full season of Dougie Hamilton the way he performed last year, it'd be huge. Personally, I've watched a lot of Dougie Hamilton and during his career with Boston and then Calgary, unfortunately. I do think that Dougie Hamilton, he's rated highly, but I don't think that he's an overrated player. Dougie Hamilton could be a major piece for the Hurricanes hoisting the cup. And, I could see them easily going to the conference finals if they get a good year like that for Dougie Hamilton. He put up 40 points in 47 games played last year, which came out to be 0.85 points per game. That is huge. To get that offensive production from a defenseman like that, that is offense that you would get from, a forward that you don't have to worry about. And the thing is, his defensive play is still good as well. The thing that I worry about, though, is Dougie is going to get a big contract. They just gave Aho the big contract last year, I believe. And then Svechnikov is going to have a big contract. Mrazek will probably get a good deal if he has a good year as well. The thing I worry about is them being so worried about getting Svechnikov and not wanting to pay Hamilton the amount of money that he's worth, that I do worry that maybe they'd let him go. And my thing is, you need to understand that I watched Boston screw up big time. I watched them screw up big time. They let him go to Calgary. I believe they traded him. But the thing is, they could use Dougie Hamilton right now, and I think they probably would have won a cup with Dougie. And I know it's a team game, but I really do feel like Dougie is a big-time player, and you need somebody that's going to be able to contribute on both ends of the ice. And Carolina's a deep team, I'll give you that, and they got players that can play both ways. But I really do think that Dougie is one of those pillar players that could be, like I said, the difference between them hoisting the cup and not. I hope Carolina doesn't make the same mistake that Boston made in letting him go to Calgary. They don't need to let him go anywhere else. He needs to find a home long-term in Carolina. With that being said, those are my 3 questions for the video today. Everybody, have a great week. I will see you Thursday. Stay safe from COVID. Goodbye, Brigadiers and Brigadettes, and hockey fans in general. This is your captain signing off. Have a great week.